Jaysin, before we start, I understand, sir, you are running a fight club of some sort, or an academy.
Yep.
Please tell the people about that.
Well, I mean, as you know, CJ, a lot of my expertise is centered around professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I started pro wrestling in 2007. I started training. In 2008, I had my first match. And I retired right around 2013, 2014. You know, I was racking up injuries and shit like that. And I just got hurt too much.
Mm-hmm.
And living fast and loose. So I took a long time away. And over the last 2 years, here recently, over the last 2 years or so, a couple of young guys in the game that wanted to get into the game got a hold of me, and they're like, "Hey, would you train us to be professional wrestlers?" And I was just like,
Mm.
"Well, it's not something that I, planned for, but if you guys got a ring and you guys got a place to do it, let's see how it goes." And that's been a lot of problems and a lot of issues, on the business side of that stuff. But for the last 2 years or so now, I've been training pro wrestlers, and we eventually phased it into what you see on the screen right now, the tag right there, Fight Club Wrestling Academy. Fight Club
There
Wrestling
we go.
Academy is essentially a pro wrestling school where you can learn not only how to become a professional wrestler, a referee, a commentator, and stuff like that, but you can also learn kind of like the history of professional wrestling, the stuff that most pro wrestling schools don't talk to you about. A lot of pro wrestling schools, they just talk to you about the basics of learning how to bump and roll and psychology and stuff like that, but they don't really show a whole lot else. At
Yeah.
least from, I don't know what a lot of schools here lately, over the last decade or so are like, but back in my time, whenever I started in the early 2000s, not a lot of schools were talking shit like that. They would just kind of yell at you and beat you up.